Welcome back everyone to Aussie Scrapper, and I'm doing another layout featuring the Cocoa Vanilla Love Always collection. Starting off with this paper, it's called Twin Set, and I'm actually going to use the side B, the reverse side, that sort of striped one. And the photos I'm scrapping are of my daughter and our dog, and he was like her bodyguard. No one could get near her. He just has always looked after my children, and yeah, this layout will be called Your Bodyguard. And I'm just playing around with different ideas and how I'm going to place the photos, and I trimmed them down, and yeah, it takes me a while to work out how this layout is going to come about, but I do get there eventually. I decided to leave this in so you can see that, you know, layouts don't come naturally. You know, you sort of play around with them till you find something that you like. It never ceases to amaze me how much the dog loves my children. Now this is the paper that I do decide to go with, and it's from the same collection, Love Always, and it's called Note to Self. This is me showing you that it's, you know, that's from the collection Note to Self. And I quite like how the photos sort of sit like that. And this seems to be my new favorite thing, rounding the edges of all my photos. So I was just going through all my scraps, trying to work out what papers to use for some matting. And I found this lovely pale pink striped paper. I don't know where that came from, but anyway, it was there in my stash in all my scraps. And I'm going to use that to mat this photo. So you just see me doing that. And the other two smaller photos, I'm actually going to mat with another piece of paper that was from my stash, and sort of like a, what kind of bony colour. And it went quite nice. So I had the two side ones in that bony colour cardstock, and the middle one in the striped pale pink ones, which sort of matched with the main cardstock at the back there, with the stripes, pale stripes. And here I'm just gessoing this page, this piece of paper. And the reason why I'm doing is that I think I'm going to use some sprays, as you can see them lined up there. And I want to protect the paper, but at the same time I also like doing this because I wanted to tone down all that writing. I didn't want it to sort of be in the forefront, so I'm just toning it down, and it's just something that I like to do, and I like to get messy, so that's just what I do. And going through my inks, and I try the packaging technique, but that never seems to work for me. It's obviously not my thing, but anyway, I just keep on trying it, and then I go in with my brush. So, and oh sorry, I forgot to mention which color this is. This is Kaisercraft Mist, and it's apple, and it's a iridescent spray, so it's got a bit of a shine to it. And then yes, the paintbrush is working much better for me, so I'll end up doing the whole paper in this. And I also add another spray. It's a distress spray, and it's vintage photo, no, antique linen. Yeah, so that's the antique linen that I'm using there, and it's the Holtz distress spray. Sorry, I'm getting tongue tied there. So yeah, so I just keep going, and I just add that onto my page till I like the effect. And I really like how that softens everything up. Oh, that's me showing you that it's the Kaisercraft iridescent spray and the Holtz linen one. So just checking with my photos and making sure I've got enough paint there, so then I go in and fill in the bits and pieces that need filling in. I always like to check by putting my photos in and seeing that I like the colour and what I'm creating. And add in paint if I have to add paint. I really like how that you can change the look of a paper just by adding some sprays and some gesso and distress stains, or whatever you might want to use, distress inks. It gives it your own individual feel to it. And I'm bringing more of those greens for the photo. There's the antique linen again. Oh, these are the stickers that come in the collection, and I do actually end up using them. And here I'm just inking my edges, but I'm using the Distress Crayon Vintage Photo, is that colour. And then I like to activate the crayon with just a paintbrush and some water. And I do this to all 4 sides, but from memory I don't actually make you watch all 4 sides being done. I hope I don't anyway. I'm still going there. And there I'm at the end. So you were very lucky I cut all that out. And then I go around and I'm doing just a bit of blending just to make sure that it all blends into one another and it softens it all up. Little finishing touches, my cosmetic surgery. And I'm loving how that's looking. I'm putting the photos back and I really do like how that looks. I was actually really happy with this layout in the end. And back to the stickers, and that one there says, "This makes me smile." And then I'm putting the stickers on to more stickers, and one says memories. So the one in the pink there, it says cherish, and the one in the aqua color is memories. So I play around with placements for a little while, and then I decide, oh, there I go, don't like my sticker there. So I play around with where else I can put it. And the silly thing is I'll end up putting it back on the photo. But more in the center, I believe. Yep, I go with the center. Yes, that's where it goes. Oh, I love that flower with the brad through it. And unfortunately, it doesn't make it onto this layout. I was so upset about that. But it ended up being too big, as you'll see later on. And I love those little bronze bones that I've got there. They were just a perfect embellishment. I'm so glad I found them in my stash. Now I'm just trying to show you what the paper now looks like now that I've finished putting all my stains and sprays and everything. And I'm just showing you the comparison to what the original paper looked like. And I love how that sort of that vintage photo blends in with my doggy and just highlights him. It's almost like he's colouring. So here I decided I'm going to match the page. So I'm just checking the paper and seeing how much I've got to cut off. And I think I cut off all 4 sides. And I'm going to use a stencil from Scrapmatts. And the stencil number from scrapmatts.com is ST1014. And it's all got little paws on it. And I absolutely love it. So in my little dish, I'm adding some modelling paste. And I believe, now what did I use in there? I used Perfect Pearls Copper. And I also used some burnt sienna paint. And I mix it all together. And I also add some Sepia colour burst because the colour wasn't quite right. So I just added, I did add more modelling paste to it. And I just go around using the stencil and applying it all to the page. And don't worry, I don't bore you with the whole process. I do go and do all 4 sides. And this is what it looks like now. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So back to my striped paper. It was actually too large and you couldn't see the paws. So I go back and I trim it on all 4 sides so that you can see my little paw prints. I didn't do all that work for nothing. And I'm now just inking, or what am I doing? Oh, I can't think. It's late here. And anyway, I'm doing what I'm doing, and it wasn't working really well because I hadn't added gesso, so it wasn't blending well. So I went in and I'm adding my gesso just with my finger and putting a bit of water, and I do that to all 4 sides. And then I go into shading all 4 sides of my paper, just like I had done to the other one with all the writing. And I love that color, and I'm just using a distress crayon, and it is Vintage Photo. So I did that to all 4 sides. As you can see, magic of editing, it's all done. And just a bit of cosmetic surgery just to make it stand out a little bit more and blend it in and fix it all up. Now I've decided that yes, I'm happy with my layout, so I'm going to permanently adhere all my photos to this page. And I did use some foam for a bit of height and dimension. I did that to all 3 photos, and I used my Liquitex gel, heavy gel medium, which I love. So I did that to all photos, and then I also adhere my little sticker words. And what I'm doing now is I got one of my watercolor pencils in sort of like a bone color, and I'm just going around the edges of the words, memories and cherish, and then I activate it with a paintbrush and a bit of water. And I probably smudge it with my fingers if I know me, just so it blends it all in. I just love doing this. And I did that to the 2 words, and I also do it to the center one. So yes, I also added foam to those words so that they were mounted a bit. And the center one where the dog is, which says "This makes me smile," I also highlight that with my watercolor pencil. So you'll probably see me do that pretty soon. I like doing this. I think it just, to me personally, it just ties everything in. So I'm looking through my embellishment, oh no, my brads, that's my brads folder, and punching a hole and adhering, oh well, I'm not adhering, I'm putting those little bone braids there. I just love how that looks. I'm really happy with that. Look at that. Just love it. It's amazing how you can change the look of a paper. So now it's time to, yes, start adhering and putting everything down, permanently down. No changing your mind now. So yes, I'm just using double-sided tape. And I'm going in, what am I doing there? I'm using the Distress Collage medium, and the color is Vintage. And I just did that so that it gave it more of an old world feel to it. The vintage look, you could say. Look at that. Absolutely love it. So these are some embellishments that I made on my silhouette machine, and the title is going to be your bodyguard. So that bone I cut out on my silhouette, and they're all from the silhouette store that I bought them from. And what I did was, with the your and bodyguard, I cut everything out about 3 times I think, and I'm just layering it so that it looks like I'll get at the end of it a chipboard look, even though it's just cardstock cut out 3 times and then glued on top of one another. So that's all I'm doing. And there you can see that it's quite thick like chipboard, but it's cardstock. I'm just giving my bone and my title, your bodyguard, a quick coat of gesso, because I'm not sure if I'm going to paint them or add some watercolors or what I'm going to do, so I'm just preparing the paper. Yeah, once that's all done, I just give it a quick blast with the heat gun, and I'm ready for the next step. So now I've decided I'm going to use some distress inks, and I've started off with the tea dye to paint the bone, which is what you see me doing now with a blending tool. And at the end there, I'm so quick. And I'm just checking that the colors are matching, and it's just looking a bit too peachy, so I tone it down using the antique linen distress ink, and that gives it a more of a natural bone look, and I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So I'm just going to ink the edges now, and I'm still using a distress ink, but I'm using the color Vintage Photo. Just go all around the edges of the bone, and I'm just getting rid of all that raw white edges, which, as you know, I do not like. And then I go in with my finger and I just smudge it, just to give it more of a rustic look. I love doing this. It's not necessary, but it's just something that I like to do. And yes, I'm happy with the way that's going. And because she's got that burgundy tracksuit that she's wearing, I decided I was going to use a burgundy acrylic paint. It's just a Mont Art one, season 2, and I painted all the title, all the word "your" and bodyguard, all in that same color. I don't think I show you the whole lot because it's, I mean, no one wants to see someone paint. And then I just dried it quickly with the heat gun, and finally putting this layout all together. I play with placement and see how that all goes. And I just move it around till I'm happy with what I see on my page. So to adhere everything down, I'm just using double-sided tape, and I use quite a lot of it. I just want it to really stick down. And yep, and I do the same with the bone. I just use double-sided tape to adhere it, and all the letters I glue down with the, what is it, my favorite, the Liquitex Heavy Gel Medium. So there I am, I'm using Liquitex Heavy Gel Medium just to paint it on and then stick it down. I'd like to thank you all for watching this video of mine. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do, if you like the videos, that is. And till next time, I hope you're all well. Bye.